What should I watch for Avengers Doomsday is what everyone's been asking themselves recently. Despite the talking point online for the last few years being that nobody cares about the MCU, the trailer for Avengers Doomsday became one of the highest viewed trailers of all time. Second, only to the last Marvel movie trailer that came out. So naturally, you can assume that a lot of people that watched that trailer who haven't been keeping up are pretty confused by a couple of things. Why does the Avengers Tower look so different? Black Panther is a girl now? How did Thor get his hammer back? I thought it smashed into a million pieces back in 2017. I thought Jonathan Majors was supposed to be the villain for this movie. Why is he in the trailer for a conservative Daily Wire movie? After Avengers Endgame, Marvel decided to kind of expand their universe outwards, have different stories in different pockets of the universe that don't necessarily cross over to each other, and make like 4 times as many projects as they did in the Infinity Saga. This has caused a lot of viewers and fans to be overwhelmed, confused, and just give up on keeping up entirely, since it's not really one concise storyline anymore. And then there's someone like me, who's seen it all the movies, and the live action shows, and the animated shows, and the special presentations, and the tie-in comics, and the Apple Vision Pro AR experience, whatever the hell that was. And I want to sort of use my knowledge to help guide others who haven't seen that much after Endgame, and they want to see Doomsday, and they don't want to be like totally lost. They're looking at Disney Plus, and they're like, should I watch Moon Knight? No, you should not watch Moon Knight. It's not gonna be necessary to Doomsday at all. So that's what this list is. If you want to know what to watch after Endgame, I'm not going to go back through the Infinity Saga. Most people saw Endgame and they probably already did their rewatches for Endgame. So you that's all you need to know. Just if you want to rewatch anything, just rewatch Endgame, and then you can go into this list. If you're asking me what you really need to watch before Doomsday, nothing. The answer is nothing. I'm sure this movie is being made with the thought that many people haven't seen much since Endgame, and if there's any status quo changes, they're gonna acknowledge it in the movie with like a line or two. And this is just my own list. I'm sure everybody has their own order and selections as to what to watch. Leave that in the comments if you want to. I'm seeing these graphics where it's listing every piece of content that the MCU has even touched, and it's like 400 hours long, and people are like, I'm sure you don't need to watch 2 seasons of Iron Fist to understand Avengers Doomsday. However, if Ward from Iron Fist did show up in Avengers Doomsday, that would probably give me the biggest cheer out of any other cameo, because he's a good character. Some items on this list have a little asterisk next to them. Not just the Thunderbolts, because that's in the title, but I don't think that they're required. However, I think it'll give you a better understanding of some of the mechanics of this universe and overall result in a better viewing experience. And I'll explain those when they show up. I'm going to try not to spoil much because I assume you haven't seen many of these items. Unless it's something that's in the Avengers Doomsday trailers, that includes the official trailer and the 4 teasers that they released a few months ago, and any other like officially confirmed details. But yeah, show this video to your grandma who wants to see her boyfriend Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Anyways, now it's time to get into what I think you should watch since Avengers Endgame in preparation for Avengers Doomsday. Starting with, hey, this is me while editing. I just realized that I forgot something. I haven't even started the list and I'm already messing up. I forgot to mention Black Widow starring Scarlett Johansson. Whenever I've done an MCU rewatch, I usually watch this one in the time that it takes place, so I don't really count it as being post-Endgame, but it is. So if you haven't seen this one, make sure to check it out because it has some pretty important characters down the line. Starting with Loki Season 1. I think this is the perfect way to start off the MCU's multiverse saga, as it explains the concept of the multiverse, as well as variants and timelines. And of the MCU's Disney Plus shows, I think this is one of the best ones. I loved it when I first watched it. It did so many things that I wasn't expecting. I've rewatched it so many times. You have, of course, Tom Hiddleston playing Loki again, they explain why Loki's back. I know he dies in Infinity War, and so when you watch the Doomsday trailer, you're like, why is there a Loki here? This is where the Loki comes from. So in that case, I also think that it's super important. And there's 2 seasons of Loki, but you're not going to watch the 2nd season just yet after you finish the first. Instead, you're going to go to Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It's a movie, it's not related to the multiverse, but it's starring Shang-Chi, who's in the trailer for Avengers Doomsday. He's probably going to be a part of the Avengers. This is another great movie. I've also seen it countless times. It's a shame that we had to wait so long to see Shang-Chi again. He goes from just one solo movie straight into fighting Dr. Doom. So I would have loved to see, a sequel to that movie or the whole trilogy of Shang-Chi movies. But I'm still grateful to have just one because it's a great movie. After that is another show. It's not season 2 of Loki. It's season 1 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This show is focused on Sam Wilson, the Falcon, and Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, about the journey of Sam Wilson becoming the new Captain America after Steve gave him the shield. I was considering putting a big asterisk next to this show, being like, you don't have to watch it, because a lot of people would argue it's unnecessary because they think Sam already accepted the role of Captain America in Endgame once Steve gave him the shield, and in Falcon and Winter Soldier, he kind of rejects the mantle, and the show's about him learning to fully embrace it and fully accept the title of Captain America. However, I think this show does a great job explaining Sam's hesitance in accepting the role, and also features some really well done character development for both him and Bucky. I also think this show criminally overhated. A lot of things that this show has been criticized for or memed on that I don't think are fair. However, that's a topic for another video. Also, John Walker's introduced in this show, and he becomes a bigger player down the road, so I think it's good to see where he came from. And there's another character that shows up at the last episode who's shown up multiple times throughout the multiverse saga that I think it'd be cool to see, just to have that sort of through line between all these projects. These next two movies have big asterisks next to them. I'm going to group them together because it's the second and third Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man Far From Home and No Way Home. The thing with these is that I don't think Spider-Man is going to be in Doomsday. A lot of people think that he is. It's hard to believe that Spider-Man, one of the most popular characters, won't be in Doomsday, but we haven't really seen anything confirming that or even alluding to that. None of the trailers, it doesn't seem like there's a place where Spider-Man would show up. I mean, maybe he does, but I feel like they would have announced it by now. He'll most likely be in the next Avengers movie, Secret Wars. After that is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This one, now that I think about it, I'm also going to put an asterisk next to, because I mean, it deals with the multiverse. It has Doctor Strange from the Spider-Man movie. However, I'm not sure if Doctor Strange is in this movie or any characters from this movie will show up again. I mean, maybe Wong. I honestly think you might be able to skip this one. I'm solely including it for its exploration of the multiverse. Hey, so this is me coming back in the edit again. I'm going to remove the asterisk from Doctor Strange 2 because I totally forgot that this movie introduces the idea of incursions, which is going to be a vital part of the plot for Avengers Doomsday, seemingly, based on the trailers and what we know about the movie. This one is definitely required viewing. After this is one that I think you should watch, that being Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. As we all know, Chadwick Boseman sadly passed away, so there's no T'Challa or Black Panther in the MCU anymore. And this movie deals with that issue, and it also gives a reason as to why Shuri is in a Black Panther outfit in the Doomsday trailer. Also, this is the first and only time Namor shows up in the MCU, and he's featured throughout the Avengers Doomsday trailer, so I'm sure a lot of people are like, who is that guy? He's a fish man. I also think this is one of the best movies in the multiverse saga, so you really should watch this one because it seems to be pretty important to Doomsday, and it's also just a great movie. Next up, you're going to want to watch Spidey and His Amazing Friends, all 5 seasons. I know it's a kid's show for babies, and you'd be surprised at how complex the drama gets in this show. It's not just for kids, man. It's deep. Just kidding. The next thing you're going to want to watch is Thor: Love and Thunder, the 4th Thor movie. This one is famous for being one of the most hated MCU projects to come out since Endgame. This is a discussion for another video, but I think that movie is very misunderstood. I also enjoy this one. It looks like Thor is going to be one of the main characters of Avengers Doomsday. He was pretty heavily focused on in the trailers, so you might as well watch this one as it's the only Thor project to come out since Endgame. We also saw a little girl who Thor seemingly is taken care of in the Thor Doomsday teaser, and this movie explains where she comes from and what their relationship is. Also, his hammer comes back. We saw the hammer in the trailers, so. Actually, these next 2 projects are also ones that people don't like, starting with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. With Jonathan Majors as Kang as the main antagonist, doesn't look like the plan really worked out with this character. I like the concept of Kang personally. I like the way that he was handled in the MCU. And I know I'm going to sound like a blind, fanboy, but I also didn't hate this movie. I liked this movie quite a bit. The post-credit scene in this movie, not the one that most people think about when you think of this movie's post-credits. There's another one that sets up a future project that's coming up soon that I really like. It was a good surprise in the theater. But after that, you're going to watch The Marvels, which is a semi-sequel to Captain Marvel, and also like a team-up between 3 different superhero characters, and also Nick Fury's there. Well, I don't think this is the worst thing the MCU's ever done. Out of these 3 movies that I just listed, this is probably my least favorite of the 3. And this one has like half of an asterisk next to it because most of the main characters, it doesn't look like any character from this movie is going to show up in Doomsday. However, the post-credit scene for this movie, and I'm not going to spoil it, but if you know, you know, the post-credit scene for this movie seems like it should be integral to Avengers Doomsday, and I'd be shocked if they don't somehow follow up on it. Maybe just watch the post-credit scene, but yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I have no idea. After that, we're going to get back to stuff that I think is really good, starting with season 2 of Loki. I'm always debating as to whether or not I like season 1 or 2 more. They're both great seasons of television. Both also deals with the multiverse. you understand where Loki ends up. So when he shows up in Doomsday, you're like, that's what he's been up to. It kind of wipes its hands of the Kang storyline. It gives you like a little bit of closure and explains why he's nowhere to be seen anymore in the MCU moving forward. Next up is something that is weirdly like heavily related to Loki, which is the movie Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm not going to spoil too much except what's in the trailers for Deadpool and Wolverine. It has the Void and the TVA, both things that were introduced in the Loki show, as well as a couple other connections. It's also kind of a refresher to the Fox X-Men universe. It explains like its place in the MCU multiverse, and also Channing Tatum's Gambit is here. That's the only character that we know from this movie that's going to be in Doomsday, weirdly enough. He's only in this movie. If you watch all the Fox X-Men movies, you're like, where's Channing Tatum's Gambit? He's in this movie. So this is the only time he's ever shown up before Doomsday. I think this is a great movie. Obviously, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Both great casting, and their chemistry between the two is like the whole reason why this movie was made, and it's worth it seeing them interact with each other. Captain America Brave New World is up next, the only movie starring Sam Wilson's Captain America. It's part of the reason why I put Falcon and the Winter Soldier on this list, because he's like the leader of the Avengers and you want to see him in at least more than one project. Sam Wilson's Captain America as well as Joaquin Torres' Falcon, they're both going to be main characters in this movie. So you might as well watch it. It has a post-credit scene that teases Doomsday, but not really. You'll see what I mean. It's kind of vague the way that they do it, but these last three movies are all required viewing in my opinion. I'm not sure about the order you should watch them in. You could obviously watch any of this stuff in release order. My list isn't necessarily in release order. It's in the order that I think you should watch them in. But this is kind of interchangeable just because there's post-credit scenes that take place, like years or months apart from one another. I'd say first, watch Fantastic Four: First Steps. You can honestly watch this movie anywhere in the timeline because it takes place in a separate universe from the main MCU. It starts the Fantastic Four, so that's going to be important to the movie with Doctor Doom as the main villain. I also really like this movie. I like the aesthetic. I like the cast. They're going to be pretty big players in Avengers Doomsday, so this is one of the few ones that I would say like you should 100% watch before the movie. After that is Thunderbolts, Asterisk. This is not my asterisk. The asterisk is in the title of the movie. Spoilers, it stands for the New Avengers because that's what they are. I know it was kept a secret before the movie came out, but if you go to Disney Plus, it just says it under the title. All the New Avengers in this movie, Yelena, Bucky, and Red Guardian, and Ghost, and John Walker, they're all big players in Doomsday. They all like show up in their new Avengers Tower, all the characters, so you should definitely watch this one. And the last movie on this list is the most recent MCU movie to come out, that being Spider-Man Brand New Day. While I still don't think Spider-Man's going to show up in Avengers Doomsday, this movie does have some connections to characters that for sure will show up in that movie. Also, this is another one that you've probably already seen because everyone and their grandmother's seen this movie. It's made like $1 trillion. And so I guess putting it on this list also retroactively makes the other two Spider-Man movies necessary viewing, so get rid of the asterisks on those two. Anyways, that's my list for what I think you should watch before Avengers Doomsday. I cut down the like 60 something projects that have come out after Endgame down to, I actually didn't count. It's like 16 MCU things. And honestly, I think if you watch this, you'd be like, man, the multiverse saga is pretty good. It has, it's concise and it has all these characters showing up and it's pretty well connected, similar to the Infinity Saga. Let me know what you guys think of my list. Maybe try showing this to someone who hasn't seen much of the multiverse saga and letting me know what their opinions were as they came out of it. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.